Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're throwing it back to a summer that changed soccer in America forever. We're talking about the 1994 FIFA World Cup, so grab your jerseys and let's take a trip down memory lane. The 1994 World Cup was a massive event, hosted for the very first time by the United States. This was a bold move by FIFA, aiming to ignite a passion for the beautiful game in a country dominated by baseball, basketball, and American football. And let me tell you, it worked. The tournament was spread across 9 cities, from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, to Giants Stadium in New Jersey. The stadiums were packed, the atmosphere was electric, and the world was watching. The road to the USA wasn't easy. A total of 147 teams from 6 confederations entered the qualification process. Some big names surprisingly missed out. England, Denmark, the reigning European champions, and France, who were stunned by a last-minute goal from Bulgaria, all failed to qualify. But this opened the door for newcomers like Greece, Nigeria, and Saudi Arabia to make their World Cup debuts, bringing fresh energy and excitement. The stage was set for some unforgettable moments. The group stage kicked things off with a bang. Remember the opening match? Germany, the defending champions, faced a resilient Bolivia at Soldier Field in Chicago. A single goal from Jurgen Klinsmann secured the win for the Germans. But the real stories were happening all over. In Group A, Romania, led by the magical Gheorghe Hagi, topped the group, while the host nation, the USA, managed to qualify for the knockout stage as one of the best third-place teams after a historic win against Colombia. This was a huge achievement and a massive boost for soccer in the States. Group B saw Brazil begin their campaign for a 4th title. With a formidable duo up front, Romario and Bebeto, they looked unstoppable. They cruised through their group, which also included Sweden, Russia, and Cameroon. It was in this group that we saw a record-breaking moment. Russia's Oleg Salenko scored 5 goals in a single match against Cameroon, a feat that still stands today. And who can forget Roger Milla, the 42-year-old Cameroonian legend, becoming the oldest goal scorer in World Cup history. Over in Group D, Argentina, led by the legendary Diego Maradona, started strong. But their campaign was thrown into turmoil when Maradona failed a drug test and was sent home in disgrace. The team was shaken, and despite a brilliant goal from Claudio Caniggia, they were ultimately knocked out in the round of 16 by Romania. This group also gave us Nigeria, the Super Eagles, who won the group and captured the hearts of fans with their exciting, attacking style of play. Group E was ridiculously tight. Historically tight. Mexico, the Republic of Ireland, Italy, and Norway all finished with 4 points and the exact same goal difference. It was chaos. The number of goals scored was used to rank them, and poor Norway was the one to go home. It's the only time in World Cup history that all 4 teams in a group finished with the same number of points. Group F saw the Netherlands and Saudi Arabia advance, with the Saudis providing one of the tournament's greatest ever goals. Saeed Alawiran picked up the ball in his own half and embarked on a dizzying, Maradona-esque run, weaving past half the Belgian team to score. It was absolutely breathtaking. So, we headed into the knockout stages, and the drama only intensified. The round of 16 gave us some classic encounters. Germany scraped past Belgium 3-2. Spain comfortably beat Switzerland 3-0. Sweden knocked out Saudi Arabia. But the big one was Brazil versus the USA on the 4th of July, American Independence Day. It was a tense, hard-fought match. The US held their own, but a late goal from Bebeto broke American hearts and sent Brazil through. Another incredible match saw Hagi's Romania eliminate a Maradona-less Argentina in a 3-2 thriller. And then there was Italy versus Nigeria. The Italians were seconds away from elimination when Roberto Baggio, the divine ponytail, scored an equalizer in the 88th minute. He then sealed the deal with a penalty in extra time, single-handedly dragging his team into the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals were just as intense. Italy's hero, Roberto Baggio, struck again with a late winner to knock out Spain. Brazil edged out the Netherlands in a 3-2 classic, a game famous for Bebeto's iconic Rock the Baby goal celebration with his teammates Romario and Mazinho. Bulgaria, the surprise package of the tournament, continued their dream run by stunning the defending champions, Germany. Led by the incredible Hristo Stoichkov, they came from behind to win 2-1, sending the Germans packing. And in the final quarter-final, a dramatic penalty shootout between Sweden and Romania ended with the Swedes advancing to the semis. The semifinals pitted two titans against each other, Brazil and Sweden. Brazil dominated the match, but the Swedish defense was like a brick wall. It took until the 80th minute for the superstar Romario to finally break the deadlock with a brilliant header, sending Brazil to the final. In the other semi, it was Italy against the Cinderella story, Bulgaria. Once again, it was Roberto Baggio who was the difference maker. He scored two magnificent early goals to put Italy in control. Bulgaria pulled one back, but couldn't find an equalizer. Baggio had carried Italy all the way to the World Cup final, but he picked up a hamstring injury in the process, which would prove crucial. And so, on July 17, 1994, at a sun-drenched Rose Bowl in Pasadena, it all came down to this: Brazil versus Italy. A final featuring two of football's greatest powerhouses, both vying for a record fourth World Cup title. It was a tactical, nervy affair, Brazil's attacking flair against Italy's defensive steel. Despite the star power on the pitch, Romario, Bebeto, Dunga for Brazil, Baggio, Baresi, Maldini for Italy, neither team could find a breakthrough. Roberto Baggio was clearly struggling with his injury. After 90 minutes, it was 0-0. After 120 minutes of exhausting extra time, it was still 0-0. For the first time in history, the World Cup final would be decided by a penalty shootout. The tension was unbearable. Italy's captain, the legendary defender Franco Baresi, who had miraculously recovered from a knee injury suffered earlier in the tournament, stepped up first and shockingly skied his penalty over the bar. Brazil missed their first one too, keeping things level, but Brazil then converted their next three penalties. After Italy's Daniele Massaro had his shot saved by goalkeeper Taffarel, the weight of the world fell on the shoulders of Roberto Baggio. He had been Italy's savior throughout the knockout stages. He had to score to keep Italy's hopes alive. He stepped up, ran towards the ball, and he blasted it over the crossbar. It was over. Brazil were the champions of the world. The image of a devastated Baggio, hands on his hips, staring into the ground, is one of the most iconic and heartbreaking in football history. The Brazilian players erupted in celebration. Their 24-year wait for a World Cup trophy was finally over. The 1994 World Cup was a massive success. It still holds the record for the highest overall attendance in tournament history, with an average of nearly 69,000 fans per game. It proved that soccer could not only survive but thrive in the United States, paving the way for the launch of Major League Soccer 2 years later. It gave us unforgettable goals, shocking upsets, incredible drama, and a final that, while goalless, was filled with more tension than any of us could handle. It was a tournament that truly had it all. What are your favorite memories from USA '94? Who was your favorite player? Let me know down in the comments. It was an incredible summer of soccer that left a lasting legacy. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this look back at history, please give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more deep dives into the greatest moments in sports. Until next time, take care.